Hey everyone, Heather here, and welcome to another 24-hour reading vlog. So I am super excited because, in about 5 minutes, my most anticipated release of the year is coming out. It is Phantom Heart by Kelly Creagh. This is a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and it's written by the same author who wrote the Nevermore series. It is one of my favorite series of all time. So yes, I'm super excited. This is her first official book release in the last 5 years. So I'm super excited. I pre-ordered the Kindle book. So hopefully at midnight it will be ready to download and I will be able to start reading. I actually took a little nap to prepare so I can hopefully stay up for maybe 2 or 3 hours to read it before I actually go to bed for the night. And I believe the book is somewhere around 400 and some pages. So I hope I can get it all read in in one day. If I do and I still have some time left over, I'm going to continue working on She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. I'm currently on page 83, and it's also chapter 3. So I'm liking this so far. It hasn't really hooked me yet. I'm not really that invested in it yet, but I mean it's building up. Right now, Shu Chongba is a monk, or she's getting ready to become a monk. But this is about this girl who in China whose father takes her brother and her to see a fortune teller, and the fortune teller says that the brother, has, basically a great future ahead of him, and she sees nothing for her future. Well, shortly afterwards, the father and the brother both die, and she's left all alone. And there's this big famine going around. Basically, everyone's starving. So she decides to take her brother's name and his identity, pretty much, and go to this monastery that his father promised him to, and decides to become a monk. But other stuff happens. But this is a Mulan retelling. But it's also the whole concept of her taking on her brother's name and his identity kind of reminds me of the anime Le Chevalier d'Ion, which that was an interesting anime. I haven't watched it in quite a few years, but that's the feeling I'm getting from this. She's trying to really get rid of herself and her female side and really take on her brother. And she's very crafty about ways that she avoids being detected. So she's a very smart character. She does what she needs to do to survive, which you gotta appreciate that. So yes, as soon as it's time, I'm gonna be downloading this, and I will check in with you in the morning to let you know how far I get. Hey everyone! Good morning! So I wanted to check in. It's currently about 10:30 in the morning, and I stayed up till about a little after 2 o'clock last night, and I actually read 21% of Phantom Heart, and so far it's interesting. It's building up, it's explaining things, so it's going a little slow right now, but I really am enjoying the writing style and the choice of words she's using. It's very elegant, I guess is the word. It's just so elegant. It's she has a thesaurus that she's using to pick out the best sounding words, which I'm for that. I love good writing. But this is so far a dual perspective between Stephanie, who's the main girl character. Her dad and her sister moved into this old estate or mansion or something like that called Moldavia, And their dad, for a living, buys houses, flips them, and then sells them, and then they like move on. He buys another house, so they travel around a lot. Well, her sister says that there's a man in her closet, and his name is Zadok, and he, doesn't want them there. And of course, her sister and her dad don't believe in ghosts, so they don't believe her. And then, like, she's finding out that there's actually, like, this, like, paranormal investigative, like, teenage group that goes to high school, and she actually has, like, this weird dream, and so she's starting to believe her sister now. Well, the other perspective we get is Zadok, who I'm assuming is supposed to be, like, the Phantom, and his name is actually Eric, or when he was a human, his name was Eric. And we found out that somehow he's been cursed, and his whole family all died on, like, the same day, including himself. And there's a lot of speculation about what happened. Like, there's rumors that, Eric had been in the occult. There was rumors that he, like, unwrapped a mummy. Like, there's all these, like, speculations and things, and no one really knows what happened. So I'm guessing we're gonna find out what happens in this book. And, like, it's almost making it sound like Eric's one person and then Zadok is one person, and they might be fused together or something. I'm not really sure. Of course, I'm not going to, like, spoil that for you if that is the case. But that's, like, the feel that I'm getting right now. But I'm only 21% of the way in. So, yes, I'm really liking it so far. I'm probably going to read for about an hour-ish, and then I'll probably get breakfast, so I'll probably check in while I eat some breakfast. Alright, everyone, so I read for about another hour. I got 33% of the way into my book. I guess it's getting a little more exciting where, like, Zebok is revealing a little bit more about what's going on and, like, how he got cursed. And Stephanie is, of course, now freaked out because stuff happens and now she knows that it's not, like, it's not just her imagination. Something's really going on. The house is really haunted. So, yeah. And, like, she's interested in this guy named Lucas, and he's interested in her, but it also seems like Zadok or Eric or whoever he is that's haunting the house and is cursed also has a thing for Stephanie, which, Phantom of the Opera retelling, of course. The Phantom is, of course, going to love the female interest. But yeah, it's still very well written. I don't think I've seen any spelling or grammatical errors. Like, the writing on this is tight. Like, I love that. I hate it when I'm reading something and I'm reading it over, I'm like, this sentence doesn't make sense, or like these words were switched, or that wasn't spelled right, or drives me crazy. I have found no errors so far in her writing, and yet again, the writing is amazing. At this point, that's actually what I'm enjoying the most, is the writing, because it's just so well written. But I am taking a break for breakfast. I have here some avocado toast and 3, like, over easy eggs. I've also got my tea, and then I'm going to watch, I think it's Hardback Hoarder's most recent video where her Twitch followers choose her TBR list. So yes, I'm going to take a little break, I'm going to eat, enjoy, and then get back to my book. it a 3 out of 5 stars because it was really good, but it just didn't like suck me in. And like the ending romance, I wasn't really that like for. It didn't really make sense to me. This, like her trilogy Nevermore, is a paranormal romance, and it focuses on like being able to enter dreams and having like alternate places or alternate universes pretty much. And it was really good. It was a solid read, but I felt it was very similar to her trilogy. And so it didn't come off as like unique. I did find it kind of interesting that they have like a paranormal, like a teen paranormal like group that has a website, and like they actually go and solve like supernatural cases, and they're like who help Stephanie, the main girl in this, kind of like solve her problem and break the curse. This also has like Beauty and the Beast vibes to it, but like it's like a completely different take on like Beauty and the Beast, but I still got like the Family Opera vibes, and like kind of the progression like the same way as like the Family Opera like musical had kind of like the same progression and everything to it, which I thought was really nice. Again, the writing was really good. It did get a little like missing words here and there. Like it was like missing two. Like instead of saying to the, it would say like something the and miss the two in it. So there are a few missing words in this, and it in two parts. The first part you get Zadok's and Stephanie's perspective, and then in part 2 you get Lucas's perspective added on, and he's like the leader of the paranormal group, who him and Stephanie kind of start forming a thing. So not too many perspectives in this book that I really liked, and it was also very well defined. Like this chapter is this person's point of view, and this chapter is this person's point of view. So yeah, well I need to go make dinner now, and I also need to get a video ready to go up for tomorrow, and then I'll decide what I'm going to read next, so I will check back with you. Alright everyone, happy Monday. So I was too tired last night to like close out the vlog, so I'm going to close it out now. So I finished reading Phantom Heart by Kelly Creagh, and I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, even though, as I previously stated, it felt a lot like her Nevermore trilogy, and the romance didn't make sense. But it was very well written. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I did read it all in one day. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have put it to the side and moved on. And then after I had gotten my video ready to post on YouTube, and I had eaten dinner and everything, it was around like 9:30 at night, and I decided that I didn't want to work on reading more of She Who Became the Sun. I just wasn't really in the mood for it, because while I'm enjoying it, like the main character is very likable, she's very like badass, like the writing itself I'm not enjoying as much, so I wasn't really in the mood for it. So I decided to pick up Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and I read 146 pages, so I'm almost halfway through, and I just started this last night. Like, it is really good, and this is actually a sister story, but the relationship between the two sisters, Donatella and Scarlett, is more believable. Like, their dad is like this really mean tyrant who became this way after their mom left them. She just like vanished one day. And I'm wondering if we're going to find out what happens to her at some point in this series. But, so they kind of only have each other to rely on. So they really like look out for and care about each other, and they want to do what's best for the both of them. So their relationship is very well developed, in my opinion. I also really like both characters, because Scarlett, who's the older one, feels like she's responsible for her younger sister, and kind of wants to do what her dad says and make sure that he's happy to protect her younger sister, where her younger sister is more like the wild child who kind of wants to go and do whatever she wants. And so I like that. But in this, Scarlet has been writing to the Caraval, to the Master of Legend who rules over Caraval for like the past 7 years, asking for them to come to the isle where they're on. And doesn't get a response, doesn't get a response, doesn't get a response. And then she finally goes, you know, this is my last letter. I'm getting married. And so then he finally responds to her and gives her 3 tickets and tells her to come. And so her younger sister gets this sailor to, like, sneak them onto his ship so that they can go to Caraval. And this is like it's very much kind of, it's reminding me of like Wonderland, where not everything makes sense, and like the scenery is changing, and you can't really trust anyone, and everyone kind of seems a little woo. So it's giving me very like Alice in Wonderland vibes, and I'm living for it right now. So I think this is going to be a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 stars. I also am planning on purchasing the other 2 books in the series because I think I'm going to want to continue this because it's really good. I'm really liking it. Like, yeah, so I know some people, I've heard people either really love this series or they hate this series. I think I'm going to love this series because, yet again, I'm halfway through the first book and I can't wait to get back to reading it, which is probably what I'll do here soon. But yes, if you like this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. And also, if you got to the end, please leave me a little pink heart emoji down below. And let me know what books you're looking forward to reading this upcoming week. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye-bye!